Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Xander makes a concession to Maggie. In the Horton house living room, Chad read through in composition about Clyde. You son of a wine. Abby's dead. It does not make any rational sense that she'd still be alive, Chad murmured. Julie walked into the room, and she noted that not everything made sense. Chad asked Julie if Abigail could be alive. I know you. You are not going to give up Stopgap until you're sure she is not out there nearly, Julie said. Chad was eager to go to the bank in Chicago, but Julie reminded him that the bank was closed for Juneteenth. No, I called ahead. The director is going to meet us there, indeed though the branch is closed, Chad said. Julie thanked Chad. I do not suppose I could have awaited one further day to see what is in that box, Julie admitted. When Julie noted that it had been delicate to keep the news a secret from Jack and Jennifer, Jack rounded the corner. Did someone say my name? Jack said gaily. Jack hugged everyone hello. We were not awaiting you, Julie said. Jack apologized. I just let myself in because I allowed. Everybody would be at the Juneteenth festivity, Jack said. You do not have to apologize. This is your home. It'll always be your home, Julie said. Chad explained that Doug was taking the kiddies to the domain. I am just not really in a gleeful mood moment, Chad admitted. I hear you. I mean, anniversaries do not get much easier, Jack said. Chad asked about Jennifer, and Jack noted that he and Jennifer had plotted through the anniversary of Abigail's death. But last night, I could not sleep. 2 I just hopped in the auto, started driving. And I just wanted to feel closer to Abigail as each, Jack explained. Jack added that he wanted to talk to Rafe about Clyde. I heard they upped the charge to murder one now that, Clyde's, eventually admitted that Abigail's death was premeditated, Jack said. Jack asked Chad if Clyde had said anything differently. Chad and Julie participated a look. Are you keeping commodity from me? Jack asked. Why would you ask that? Julie said. With a raised eyebrow, Jack said it was a journalist's instinct. Also, I happened to walk by and eavesdropped you saying commodity about a secret that was nearly insolvable to keep from Jennifer and myself, Jack added. Chad signed. Jack asked about the box that Chad had said he was eager to open. Julie and Chad looked at one another. With a laugh, Julie picked up the time capsule from the table, and she told Jack about it. That is hardly a secret. Jennifer told me all about it, Jack said. Gosh. Thomas and Charlotte wanted it to be a surprise. Are not they going to be happy to see you? Julie said. With a grin, Jack said he was eager to see his grandchildren. After Jack ran upstairs, Chad and Julie breathed a shriek of relief. How are we going to explain going to Chicago? I cannot stay another day, Chad said. When Jack returned, Julie asked if he was okay. Thomas said that you told him that Abigail was alive, Jack said. Chad started to stammer. A response also fell silent. Alive in our hearts. I know. I know. It's just that she feels so present to me right now. Right now in this house, Jack said. Chad and Julie agreed. With a nod, Jack blazoned that he was headed to see Rafe, and he left. I really detest lying to him, Chad rumored. So do I. But by the end of moment, we'll know one way or the other, Julie said. In the Kiriaki's living room, Teresa goggled at Victor's portrayal. Stop looking at me like that. Yes, I know what I did to Brady was not fair. And in a perfect world, we'd be together, but how numerous times has that ended in disaster? So, I have decided to take the safer bet, and I am going with your heir at law, Teresa said. With a shriek, Teresa told Victor that she knew Alex wasn't the real heir at law, but that Xander merited to be squinched because of what he'd done to her. Is that a fact? Bonnie said as she walked into the room. Teresa played dumb until Bonnie asked Teresa if she had been talking about the police. Teresa jounced yes. You cannot really want, Xander, To go down for killing the man who was trying to strangle you, right? Bonnie asked. With a mime, Teresa noted that the police had declined to press charges. Teresa scurried out of the room, and Bonnie looked at Victor's portrayal. You get the feeling she's hiding commodity? Bonnie asked. Upstairs, Sarah sat on the bed next to Maggie as she stirred awake. What time is it? Maggie asked. Sarah verified that Maggie had slept through the night. Maggie heaved as she flashed back what had happened with Constantine. That awful man. I knew he was a fabricator. I knew he was a con man. Please, would you please tell me he is locked in captivity? Maggie said. Sarah verified that Constantine was dead. What happened? Maggie asked. I happened, Xander said as he poked his head into the room. Xander explained that he'd used the gun that Constantine had wanted John to use on Maggie. I suppose there is a certain lyrical justice in that, do not you? Xander asked. Maggie jounced yes. Sarah explained that Constantine had tried to kill Teresa and that Xander had had no choice but to shoot. While Sarah stepped out of the room to take a call from the sanitarium, Xander sat coming to Maggie. What happened with Teresa? Maggie asked. Xander told Maggie that Constantine had taken Teresa hostage after he'd shot Steve. Teresa is fine. So is Steve, Xander said. Xander explained that Alex and Brady had possessed Constantine, and Constantine had strangled Teresa. Xander told Maggie that he'd seized the gun and shot Constantine. It sounds like you did not have any choice, Maggie said. No, Maggie. I had a choice, Xander rumored. Xander confessed that although Teresa had been in peril, it was his rage over Victor's murder that had pushed Xander to pull the detector. He tried to kill you. He abducted Victoria, Xander added. With a shriek, Xander noted that Constantin had dropped his gun and been outnumbered. We could have taken him down and held him there until the police arrived. I did not have to shoot him. And I clearly did not have to shoot to kill. I did, Xander said. With gashes in her eyes, Maggie asked Xander if he felt any guilt. No. I am glad the bastard is dead, Xander admitted. Xander apologized, but Maggie confessed that she was glad that Constantine was rotting in hell. My only remorse is that I am not the bone. Who pulled the detector, Maggie said. With a shake of her head, Maggie corrected herself for feeling that way. I'd be more concerned if you did not feel that way about Constantine after what he did to you and Victor, Xander said. Maggie asked Xander if he was in any legal trouble, but Xander verified that Melinda had declined to press charges. I got down with it, Xander rumored. Maggie thanked Xander for his devotion to Victor. He did not always treat you veritably kindly. But you know, I do not suppose he'd have been as hard on you if you had not reminded him so much of himself, Maggie said. Do you really suppose so? Xander asked. Maggie jounced yes. Maggie noted that Victor had missed out on Beau, Philip, and Alex's springtime. But Xander, you were the bone. Who no way left.